Hi, this session we're going to discuss and hear from our audience here about some of your own personal testimonials. And what I'd like to do, I know there are at least 2 people in the audience who have who are willing to share some feedback with this community. And the question we pose to the community is, has anything happened here today that has transformed your thinking about the approach to computer science in the classroom? And I'd like to invite we have at least two people in the audience up with me so that we can capture your response.
I'm Peterson, principal, South Fayetteville High School, South Fayetteville, New Jersey.
My name is Cody Garcia. I'm a computer science teacher at South Fayetteville, New Jersey.
So here's what we did today. When we had our little breakout session, we actually turned the implementation plan into a proposal so that we could go back to our district and go to the central administration as well as to our curriculum committee to use this to go to the next step. So we did some of these things like all of the different things talking about how we're going to recruit. We put all the things that everybody actually talked about before and kind of put them together into a package that we're pretty much almost done with so that we can actually present this in a formal setting. And using all the information and all the experience and all of the different things that were shared today, we are going to use. For example, the middle school recruitment, we received some great ideas on how we could do that and how we could solicit students to get into these classes. So we came in a little bit ahead because we had the idea of already, we wanted to adopt this. Now we have the next steps on what's going to do, and we'll go back on how to actually get this done. Did you want to add something?
Basically, what I did was last year we adopted a new computer science, intro to computer science section where we added Alice. And I think Myra back there, right, Myra? We were in the same class together last year where I learned about Alice. And the district was very understanding. So we went from we have a very small school anyway. There's about 1,100 students. But we had maybe, 10, 15 kids taking computer science, that was it. And then past year, we had 40 students, and now I have 70 students. So I think additional classes and listening to all of you guys is helping me come up with ideas on how to put it all together. I don't think we're going to have any issues getting the district to go along with it. We just have to come up with a plan of this is what you're going to take for the first year, and then this is how we're going to branch out. So my goal is also to get younger students doing it, and then I want to start bringing it down to the middle school as well.
And in addition to, we got the idea to actually start implementing some of the things in our intro to computer science classes in September to prepare for the 15-16 school year. So introducing some of those ideas that we're going to actually be implementing right away. And also, a couple of other things happening where we have a robotics teacher coming in, so we're going to tie those things together. So today was good because we tied it together and made some connections to us and us. So that's it. Thank you.
We have one more testimonial from the audience.
I'm Carl Lang, Utah State Office of Education, and I'm the specialist in career technical education over information technology and computer science. I have handled the programming one. And one of the things that we've done, tried to have a vision long enough that we could anticipate things ahead of time and take care of some of those things at the state level, so that before we had the problems, we had those taken care of there. We started 3 years ago with the Exploring CS, and we got a grant, and we've been training teachers with that. One of the things we've done with anticipating coming in and training new teachers to run those through the Exploring CS workshop that we've done, even though they might not teach that class right off, but it would be preparatory for them to teach the CS principles. Looking ahead, year and a half ago, we could see the CS principals coming down the line. We got it approved as a course. All courses in Utah have to be approved at the state level. So we got CS principals approved last year in the fall, so that this year when the school year starts, it will be a class that's on that we have core codes for, so that schools can use that class. Also, looking at training, professional development, recruiting teachers, what needs to happen for licensing, realizing that we're probably not going to get CS majors or minors to teach our classes. But we changed our endorsements that are the license for teachers to teach those classes, so that we can more easily bring and train teachers that are already teaching math, science, business, or engineering technology, get them training so that they can come in and start to fill our class. So hopefully we'll have a few teachers doing the CS principal this year. Next year we want to do the professional development so that we've got teachers in place and can handle those classes. Looking at replacing what we're doing with our computer programming one right now to phase in the CS principals class to there. That would give them 1 year before it becomes the safety class. So it's taken us, myself working with Helen who has got our CSTA chapter started in Utah, working together. We work really well. She can do stuff outside of the state office that I can't do politically inside the state office. So that's worked really well to have her support and be able to collaborate together with things that we do there. Planning ahead helps get things done.
Now I have an activity for everyone to participate in. In the center of your table is a white little packet of sheets. Everybody please take one. There's a little pad, just rip one off and have a writing utensil. For those of you who are participating in our virtual community, you can feel free to comment online in response to my prompt. So I want you to take a moment, and I'm going to give you 2 full minutes to imagine yourself as a student in a CS Principles course. It's at the end of the year of the CS Principles course. What enduring understandings can you record on this piece of paper for us to put into a full year from now time capsule? So you're a student, you just experienced a CS Principles course. What enduring understanding can you imagine yourself leading this course with? And we'll reflect on your answers 4 years from now. So 4 years from now, we'll take these out, maybe email you again, and see what your enduring understandings are for your students once you are able to deliver a CS Principles course.
Muted. Yeah, I know. I I'm not sure why we muted. We unmuted. Unmuted so that we've eliminated any possible issue. My thought here is that it has to do with how we manage it. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it overruns the system every time. So that's why we were breaking it down. It could just have been a connection, so we stop and restart. So my thought is that since it's a lot of blank time, this is I know it's better than nothing at this point. So yeah, totally. Exactly.
15 seconds. Now, at this point in the program, we want to collect your understanding. So before we do that, is anyone just dying to share what you've written with our audience? Thank you.
I don't feel I have all of the skills necessary.
Don't let my go to the podium. Thank you.
Melissa Fernandez, I'm from Miami-Dade County, Florida. The one that I wanted to share is this one. Even if I don't feel I have all of the skills necessary to accomplish various computer-based tasks, I feel that I know enough to go learn enough to tackle the challenge. So the confidence to really go out there and find the answers you need to be able to solve a computer science type problem is something that my students walk out of the room. Thank you.
Any other brave souls? Thank you.
This is appropriate because I've worked with Ms. Fernandez for sort of some years in the same district, and I've admired her as an engineering teacher for many years. So I thought it would be appropriate. Here's a picture of me holding a hammer and a screwdriver. Okay, and I imagine myself getting a dose of high technology, just enough to light a fire. I will make plans to go to a college with an interesting high-tech program of some kind and seek a career as an engineer or technician.
If anyone else wants to share, please raise your hand. Come on up to the podium. There's Professor Garcia coming up to the podium. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Garcia. CS is fun. But learning CS takes work. Oh, there you go. Collaboration takes work, but it's rewarding, and I actually learn better as a team. People may not have ever worked together as a team and form a class before. I can do this thing. And blocks and text programming are equally powerful models.
Mr. Kirk?
Wow.
I can write programs to process input and produce output that helps formulate new knowledge. I can explain the internet and components used to create the internet, and I could simulate information encoding, transmission, and decoding. I can create digital artifacts that impress my grandma. I understand complex things in relatively simple terms. I ran out of time because she said I only have 15 seconds left.
Come on up. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cody Prestwood. I teach computer science at Pasadena High School. So, perspective from a student. I learned how to work with a group of people and complete the assignment and be happy with it. I learned there is so much to computer science that impacts my life that I will not underestimate a computer. And the last one was from a student, and at the end of every year I ask the students fill out a survey, and I've never forgotten the statement. I love it. Programming is a difficult pain in the ass, but I get it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there we are. Okay. So I want to end my little time with you here today, sharing with you some of my students. And I know we've talked a lot about recruiting, and it sounds like we have a lot of passionate educators in the room. And what I want to point out in this slide, all of these students took my CS pilot program. And at least one of them I started to work with in grade 7 because I had a real interest in engaging girls in computing. And me and a few of my colleagues, we decided to recruit a couple of girls to stay after school and just explore artbotics. So they were in grade 7 when we recruited just a handful of girls. Does this interest you? Come in after school and it wasn't even an official club. So by the end of 7th grade, they had an opportunity to display their artbotic creation at the University of UMass Lowell. And at the time that this was happening, there was an amazing bot ball competition, a real robotic competition in the same gymnasium. So here are my 7th grade girls, really happy about their artbotic creation on display at this festival. And they kept looking on the side. What's going on over there, Miss Powers? What's that? What is going on over there? They're having so much fun. So they went and they observed this competition for a long time. At the end of that day, they decided that they wanted to do bot ball next year. They wanted to compete. Now, typically, they were mostly high school competitors, and it was quite an interesting challenge. But we said, okay, if it interests you, we'll go ahead and do it. It was all girls. So the next year, we recruited some more girls to participate in both artbotics and this thing called bot ball. I had no idea what I was doing. But luckily, with our relationship with UMass Lowell, they had some workshops for teachers, and they got us on board. We went to the competition to compete with 18 to 22 girls, all girls. We did horribly, but we had the best time ever. So that was as 8th grade. We didn't score, we were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, lots of fun. So the girls, by 9th grade, they wanted to do a better job. So they improved their coding skills, they learned more about strategy, we worked with other schools. So 9th grade, we didn't do too bad. So here you have the 10th grade, some of the members from the 10th grade team. This year they came back and they took 3rd place. And it's all girls. So what's really interesting about this story is what I try to do is, somebody had coined this phrase this week, spiraling of kindness. So I have my high school girls now who want to give back to the middle school. So the week after the bot ball competition, when they came in 3rd, they said, Miss Powers, we want to go to the middle school and start getting them interested in artbotics and bot ball. The next week, on Monday afternoon, they had a crowd of about 15 girls coming in to learn how to do robotics and programming. So I thought that was pretty cool. So really expressing an interest and recruiting them without them even realizing what they're getting into. To say, just try this with us. Let's take this journey together. We were extremely successful, so they're giving back now. In addition, we have had like an NCWIT award winner this year. That's phenomenal. We've had many Massachusetts Aspirations Award winners. And we got into that by just saying, just apply. Just talk about what you do in computer science and in the community. And then we started to get some winners. So now it's a big deal for us. And the last thing I'll say, just in terms of recruiting, National CS Education Week happens every year. It's in December. Start planning today. And what we do at National CS Ed Week is we have a computer science fair. So we get all the students to showcase, just like a science fair, some of their work. And it could be a Scratch program, it could be something with robotics. They all come and all their parents come. And it creates a nice buzz in the school because it's also National CS Education Week. So with that, we would like to collect, can somebody help me collect the enduring understandings from each table? So remember, we had talked about big ideas today, that this AP class is rigorous. It's about broadening participation, and you have plenty of support. All you have to do is ask, because we want you to be successful. Thank you.